Today I'm going to show you how to mix together excellent white rolls for a dinner party. Okay, here we have the ingredients for white rolls. I normally don't make white rolls, but I have many requests for it. So I like to add other things into it to add some nutrition into the white rolls. First thing you do is take a cup of milk and you're going to put it in your saucepan because we're going to heat it, along with 3 tablespoons of organic butter. I use organic milk and organic butter because I don't want all the added things to it like hormones and antibiotics and things like that, especially that store into the fat. And I want to give my body lots of nutrients. I put the milk and the butter into the saucepan. I'm going to put this on the stove and heat it until it's warm. You don't want to get it too hot because you don't want to kill the yeast that's going to be in the bread. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to set up my yeast here. I have a 1/3 cup of warm water, and it's just warm to the touch. You don't want it too hot because you don't want to kill the yeast. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of that, and then I have a 1/3 cup of organic sugar that I'm going to use in this recipe. If I was making the white rolls for myself, I would not use hardly any sugar, probably only a tablespoon. But here I'm going to add, of the 1/3 cup that I'm going to use in the batch, I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of it and just stick it in here into the yeast just to see if it's, just to get it going. You don't have to do this step. You could actually just put it into your batter, but I like to just to make sure that my yeast is active. So I will let that set and let it rise, double, make sure it's active, and in the meantime I'm going to be doing my milk and my butter on the stove. We'll come right back. Okay, I've heated the milk and the butter on the stove and it's melted in there. It's still a little warm, so what I'm going to do is just end up putting it in the blender here, mixer, and then I'm going to put the sugar in there and then just have the heat dissolve the sugar. Okay, we'll do that and then I'll be right back. Okay, still feels pretty warm. I always do it by the touch, but you could actually use a thermometer. You want to keep it under 115, so about 110 would be a good temperature if you want to use a thermometer. I've been doing it long enough that I know that if it's too warm, I can just feel it with my hand. I'm going to take a teaspoon of the salt. I use sea salt and a Himalayan salt because it is high in minerals. And I'm just going to stick it in here into the milk and the sugar. Okay, I'm done with that. And because it's still quite warm, I'm going to add some of the flour into the batter. Now I have about 3 cups here. And what I'm trying to do is just lower the temperature just a little bit because I do not want to destroy my yeast. So I'll put all 3 cups in there. Okay, it looks pretty good. And it's lowered the temperature, so I'm going to put in my eggs. And I use cage-free eggs. They don't have to be organic, but I do want my chickens out roaming, eating bugs and natural vegetation so that I can get the most nutrients in my eggs. And as you can see, the yeast has doubled, so it is active yeast. So I will stick that into my batter at the very end here. And I need a little spoon to get the rest of it out. Okay, I think I have it all there. Okay, and I will add 1 more cup of flour to this, and then I'm going to let it rise 2 times. Okay, so I'm going to take my 1 more cup of unbleached flour, so it'll be a total of 4 cups that I'm adding. And you can use, there's a plastic thing that goes over this and you can use it. I just find it a little too, it gets in the way, so it's a little bothersome. So I just don't put it in. Okay, let me stop this and show you. The batter is still really doughy, but I'm going to let it set and rise twice. And then I will add more flour until the dough becomes independent and it turns into a ball. Okay? So I'm just going to let it sit there for, it'll take probably about 30 minutes, and then I'll do it again. So about an hour before we actually make it into rolls. Okay, the batter has doubled in size, as you can see here. So then I'm going to just mix it around again. And then I'm going to let it do it one more time. Okay, as you can see, it's doubled again, so I'm going to mix it, and then we're going to add flour, and then we're going to start forming our buns, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to add the rest of the flour slowly. What I'm looking for is I want it to stick together and be able to form without sticking to my hands, but yet I don't want it too gooey. If there's an in-between, you're looking for a certain consistency. If it's sticking to the bottom of the bowl, you know you need more flour. And I do this part really slowly because I don't want to over-flour the rolls. So I just wait until I have this certain look and consistency, and I'll show it to you when I see it. Okay, currently it is sticking to the bottom of the mixer. So I'm going to continue to add flour. Now I'm using 1/8 of a cup spoon, and so far I've used 3/8 of that extra cup that we needed. And it continues to stick, and I'll do this until I can get the right consistency. You just don't want it, you want it to not stick to the bowl. So you just add a little bit more. Okay, now it's starting not, well actually it is on the very, very bottom, so I'm going to add just a little bit more, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to pull it out here and show you what it needs to look like. Okay, so here it is, it's sticky to the touch, so there's still not enough flour, okay? But there's only a little bit of, it's only sticking a little bit now to the bowl. So I'm going to still add some more flour until it's not sticky to the touch, okay? And you just continue doing that. And just do about 1/8 of a teaspoon at a time, 1/8 of a cup at a time. Okay, let's stop it and look at it. Okay, it's still sticky to the touch, but I'm going to go ahead and take it out because it's not, I can still draw away from it. So if you want to continue with the mixer, you're certainly welcome to. You just don't want to over flour it.